Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be on the Gladiator, and this is one of the items I had mentioned when I did the overview of things to come. So in this video, the plan is to get the truck washed, and then I'm going to bring it in the garage and go through sealing the paint, because something needs to be done since I had all of the body panels replaced this past winter under warranty. So on a side note, as far as the Cobra goes, I did get all the parts ordered I need for the engine, so hopefully I'll be able to dig back into that after this video, but I do have some work to get done on the Gladiator. So that being said, I'm gonna get the camera turned around and start getting to work. All right, so real quick, here's what I'm using. Chemical Guys products. Got their Hydrosuds ceramic shampoo, using a foam cannon that I've got, and then their tire and rubber cleaner just to clean the wheels up, along with like their scrub brush for the wheels. And then I'll just be using a foam mitt as far as, or a mitt as far as doing the cleaning. So nothing really more to say about that. I'm gonna get this thing washed, and then I will come back when it's ready to start doing the sealing. All right, all washed, and now it is in the garage. Let the paint cool off for a little while because it's like 95 degrees outside. So I am gonna start using clay bar kit, as you can see there. Go over everything with the clay bar, and then I will start the sealing process. There's a few spots where I found a few scratches, and I have to take some, like Scratch X to clean those up as well. So yeah, that is the plan. I need to get over, get going and go over this beast with the clay bar, and then start following up with the sealer. So I'm gonna get clay barred, and then I will come back with an update on what I'm using to seal the paint. All right, update time. I have gone over and I have done the clay barring on the cab. So I have not gotten to the bed yet, but the light or the sun is going to start coming over my house pretty soon, and I need to start polishing before the nose is going to be hit by the sun and start warming up. Plus, I will have to pull the truck out of my garage somewhat to do the tailgate because I can't get to it right now. It is backed up to some items that are in the garage. So that being said, I'm gonna get to work on polishing or sealing the paint. This is what I'm using. Another Chemical Guys product. Their Jet Seal and Paint Protectant. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to last about 12 months. I'm not sure how well it'll do on mine, being that this sits outside, but we will find out. So what I need to do is apply it using the microfiber applicator. You are supposed to let it sit on the paint for no less than 20 minutes and then polish it out. You can apply it with, by hand or with a machine, and then same thing, you can remove it by hand or with a machine. I'm just gonna do it all by hand. I've got some really good high quality microfibers, and then again, I got the Chemical Guys applicator as well. So that being said, I am gonna get to work on starting to apply this sealant to the cab of the truck. All right, well, about an hour later, and the cab is done. Stuff goes on pretty good, pretty straightforward. Coming off, a little different story. Like I said, you're supposed to let it sit 20 minutes. My thoughts right now are, the panels that weren't repainted, it was definitely much more streaky and difficult to get off of the panel. So, or like, keep it from having a haze. So I'm thinking if, to do this again, if you had paint that was older, it would probably be best to either rub it out first, take a buffing compound to it, or at the very least wax it first, and using like a cleaner wax. That might make this go on a little easier. Wasn't terrible, like I said, and it did come off for the most part. I mean, there may be a few spots that have a little bit of streakiness to them. I'm just gonna kind of have to watch it. But I mean, you can see maybe there's like a little bit of a haze in some spots on the door there. So yeah, I'll probably go over it one more time with a clean microfiber when all is said and done. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out of the garage somewhat and start doing the clay barring of the bed and fender flares and tailgate, and then I can go ahead and get those polished. All right, quick update. I did go ahead and went around the two bedsides and the tailgate, and was able to get them clay barred, and I've gone around and now applied the sealer. You can see the haziness of it as it's on there, because again, you do have to let it sit for 20 minutes before you can wipe it off, and it didn't take that long to go around and do all of this. I probably got about 5 more minutes before I can go ahead and start wiping it down. I will say regarding the areas that are now in the sun from me pulling the truck forward, I am smelling this chemical like burn off per se, I'm guessing. I can smell the polish, and it does look like some of the spots that may have had a little bit of a haze to them, it's gone away. So I'll have a final decision once this thing is out of the garage and sitting in the sun for a little while. But anyway, I'm going to continue to let this cure a little bit longer, and then I'll go ahead and start wiping things down. All right, all done. I just went ahead and wiped everything off. So next on the list is to go ahead and get things moved back around, get this outside, and then just see how it looks once the sun hits it for a few. All right, well, here it is in the light. Definitely looking very nice and sparkly. Paint's looking pretty good, very happy with it. I can smell that stuff flashing off still, so I'm just going to be giving it time and seeing if some of these small smudge marks and whatnot that I can see on the paint eventually go away. But like I said, it pretty easy going on and off. Definitely thinking it would probably be even easier if you had a vehicle that was freshly waxed before putting the sealer coat on, or at the very least polished out with a buff wheel and some polishing compound. One thing I did forget to mention is I did do the black grill as well, and it actually kind of brightened it up. It was looking a little more dull. It looks a little brighter now that I got that sealer on it. So yeah, it's just going to be give it a little time, see what it looks like after the sun has had some time to hit it, and see if some of that little bit of streaking that I can see on like the doors and whatnot goes away. All right, well, it's been a couple of hours, and I actually just got back from doing a couple of errands I had to run. I still see some splotchy spots on the panels. I have a feeling it's just the way this stuff goes on. I did wipe it down a couple of times and still there. So it does say on the instructions, don't wash it for 12 hours. You have to let it sit in. So I know we're supposed to get some rain the next few days. So I'll kind of see how it looks after it rains and then go from there. But it might just need to be washed one more time, now that the stuff's on there. Don't know, but anyway, that is where I'm going to end this one. I know it wasn't a very exciting video or anything, but this was something that I had to do, and was taking me away from working on the Cobra, so I figured why not share it with you. So if you enjoyed it, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. I will be getting back to work on the Cobra, but I do have some more stuff that's going to be going into the Jeep as time goes on. I brought up previously that I have some suspension parts, things like that. But yeah, next video should be back working on the Cobra and trying to get that engine fixed and put back together and get that car back on the road. So like I said, please hit like, please hit subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. I do review them. I will reply. I do have a second channel related to firearms. If that's something that interests you, there is a link to the YouTube channel in the description of this video. I also have a Rumble channel, which covers a lot of the same stuff. Link in the description of this video as well. Below the video, you probably see some merchandise. I have a merch store. Link in the description as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. So real quick follow-up, been a few days, it just rained. You can see everything is beating up really nice on the paint. Unfortunately, it does still have some of the blotchiness in the door panels that I mentioned previously. So may just have to go over it with another coat or something, not sure. But anyway, that is the final result of my paint sealant.